Today's exercise, we're going to learn how to use LANHT, the companion software coming with SketchUp Pro, to create simple construction documents. Before we start the software layout, let's make sure get our SketchUp model ready. We're going to use two models. The first is the gazebo model. I create a plan view with the simple black and white line style, and I create an elevation view. So these two views, since I created, if you forget how to do it, follow the tutorial of last week presenting your model, the first part. Also, we need another SketchUp model, the part in the terrain, so we can have some perspective views with surroundings we can show in the construction documents. Okay, so when you have all these models ready, make sure you know the name of the model and also the location you saved them. Then there are two ways to start layout. First, in your SketchUp model, click on File, Send to Layout. So this one will start the layout program directly. Otherwise, you can double-click the icon of layout to start a program, and then insert the SketchUp model later. Either way. So when you get into the layout, first thing, you need to choose a template. There are three types of templates. The first group is simple paper, either with grids or just blank paper. Or you can create a storyboard with layout. For our construction document, we are going to use this template with a title block. So there are all kinds of paper size and the styles in the title block template. For today's exercise, I'm going to use the letter size, simple style. You can choose any style or size to suit your own purpose. Click on this. So it takes a while. You see there's a title block and a letter size paper. And then my SketchUp model, exactly like what I see in my SketchUp Pro, is showing here in a viewport. By viewport, I mean it's a window. You can move it around or scale it. Your model will scale together with this viewport just to fit into the window. So let's check the interface of the layout first. Go to the default tray on your right. So looks familiar, just as similar as SketchUp. So let's open the Page panel and the Layers panel. So when you choose a template, basically two pages are created with a template. First is a cover page, and then is a one single inside page. These two pages you can see they have different format and contents on them. So by sending my model to layout, they put the first viewport in the inside page. However, I want to put this one on my cover page. I can use the select tool to click on this viewport and edit, select cut. Then I can go to the cover page, edit, paste. So go to the default tray, open the SketchUp model control panel. You see, if I select one of the scene in the drop-down menu, it's going to show one of the photos or just the view of this park. So whatever you set up the scene in SketchUp, this one will show on the cover page. So I'm going to add a title in this cover page. So go to text right here. If you just click once, you can start typing, but you cannot have a paragraph. So that's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to click and drag my mouse to create a text box so I can edit later. I'm going to type in my title, Hillside Park with gazebo. You can give any names of your park. So I'm going to edit the text later. And the location is Merritt College, Oakland, CA, and 2020. So I got basically a paragraph of text I'm going to show in the title. Go to the default tray. So open the text style right here. You select this Arrow Black 24. This is too huge. So I'm going to use my cursor to highlight these, change it back to 16, maybe even other fonts. Yep. So I'm going to delete right here. And also you can edit to be, oops, I need to select everything and to make it centered. So this red arrow meaning I need to pull my box a little bit bigger. Okay, so I create a simple cover page with an overall view of the park and a title. So now let's go ahead to create something else. Still open the page and layers. Click on the inside page. So double click on this title. You can edit it to plan and return elevation. Then click elsewhere to close the edition of the text. So I'm going to import the gazebo plan and the elevation on this page. Go to File, Insert. So I find my gazebo model, open it. So this is the last saved scene of my gazebo. So I'm going to scale it smaller and put it at this corner. Open the SketchUp model panel. I'm changing the scene to plan view. So for plan view, we need to set a scale. It's not like perspective, you just scale it the right size. But for plan view, go to the camera right here. See, the current scale is random because when I scale my viewport, the plan scale with it. However, I'm going to change it to I'll try 1/8 equals 1 foot. Yep, it looks okay. So now you see, when I change the scale to this one, this check, preserve scale on resize, is checked. So which means when I make my viewport smaller, my plan doesn't go smaller. So by this way, I can just easily put my plans right here. So click on this plan and hold down the Control key for PC, Option key for Mac. Click and drag to make a copy. It's a little bit delayed, but be patient and release your mouse. I was click, hold down the Control key, and then drag, release mouse. So I make a copy. You can also copy and paste. So either way. So for this one, I'm going to change the scene to elevation. It's a little bit small. I can change this one to a bigger scale. 1/4 equals a foot. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Looks all right. So you see, I'm just making my window a little bit bigger to show everything in this elevation. You notice this one overlaps. It has a white background, so overlaps. So now I'm going to go to Style, still in the SketchUp model. So uncheck the background. So now it's like my elevation is on a transparent background. So this way I can move this one closer to the plane and not affecting this plane. All right. You know what? I noticed, see, this plan view, I have a corner up and down. And then this elevation, I have a face facing me. So to make them consistent, I'm going to rotate my plan. Use the select tool to select this plan viewport. And if you move your mouse closer to the center area, there's a blue dot, which is a rotation. You can just grab it and rotate. So I think I'm going to rotate. You can just rotate a little bit and then release. Immediately input 22.5. Enter. You see, this viewport is rotated. And then now my plan is this face is facing down. So which is consistent with the elevation view. Please click elsewhere. Yes, that looks better. So now let's add some dimensions. Click on the dimensions right here. If I click at one corner and the second corner and pull this up, you see it's 21 feet. So now if I click on cannot click on this one. Something wrong with it. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you need to zoom in. So you see this dimension is the same as the plan view dimension. You can add more dimensions like the height, like Just add as many as you want. So I'm just going to stop here. So these are the linear dimensions. Let's try click on this drop-down menu to add an angular. So click on this center of the octangular shape, and then you get a dashed line to click on this corner to build up the first edge of the angle, and then click on this center again. Click on this corner to set the second edge. So you see it's 45 degree. Click anywhere. All right, so I got some dimensions. You can go ahead to dimension anything you like, the finial, everything. So now let's use the labels to add some labels. Click on the label and see if I click on this finial. First click, second click, and the third click. You see, if I zoom in, the default text is the group name. Remember in SketchUp, when we create this model, we have a group called finial. So you can just easily select this finial. It will be labeled as finial. So let's try the roof. Roof. So how about so you see, I don't want to call it white flower box. Instead, click on that group name. I can directly type in on my keyboard, flower box, and click elsewhere to edit, to exit. So base is okay. So you see what I'm doing. I'm just basically click on things and adding labels. Like this one, I don't want to call it the component name. Instead, I'm typing in window. Okay. So I think I showed everything for the second page, which means I import a plan view and copy and paste another elevation view. So I change the scene in the viewport scene right here. Then I add elevations, labels, and angular dimensions. Okay, so let's go ahead to see what else we can create. So I got a cover page and an inside page. Now if I in the page panel, I click on the plus sign to create another page. It's a page 3. It doesn't have a title, so let's copy this one into it. Go to the page 2, select this title, and click on copy. Go to the third page and paste. Double click to edit it. Just perspective view. I need to enter return to make it 2 lines. So click elsewhere to exit edit mode. So you notice this page number automatically changing to number 2. So this is number 1, number 2. All right, so let's add some perspective views right here. We already have one in the cover page. However, let's try to go to File, insert, and remember the models with the perspective views. So now I put it somewhere up, and then go to the SketchUp model. I'm going to make it smaller. And you can also create other views, like I make another viewport by click on this viewport and edit, copy, paste. So I have another viewport. I'm going to change it to view maybe 5. Okay, a close-up of my gazebo. So you can put it right here. Make it smaller. You can copy, hold down the Control key or Option key to make another copy. Oops. See, this is what I mean. There are some delays, so you have to hold down your Control key and move you click and move your mouse and release your mouse first, and then release the Control key or Option key. So give it some time. It just has some delay. So now I'm going to change this one to, I don't know, 4. Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just basically creating some different perspectives to show the model. So you can just create as many or as few, maybe just one big perspective view. Maybe that's good enough. So I think that's the requirement for assignment 3, creating 3 pages and then adding some plan view, dimensions, labels, text, changing perspective using the scene, or you can double click to make the changes inside the viewport. Either way, click someone else. And then, okay, one more thing. See this title block? There have some like information there. Go to the file, click on document setup. So here is the location you can change all this information, like Oak CA, and then maybe client's name, company name, LZ, today's date, and the file name, issue date, project name, Hillside Park. And you see page numbers. So this is page number starting from 1. Starting page is the inside page. It doesn't include the cover page. You can change this one. For example, you have an index or note page. You want to start from the 2nd or 3rd. You can definitely change it right here. And here you can turn on show the grid, so you can line up your drawings or not show the grids. And You don't need the groups. So this paper, pay attention, you can definitely change the paper here. Like I chose the letter size template. However, if I change it to tabloid, you need to reset everything, like including the title block and you drawing scales, dimensions, everything. So that's why I highly recommend you to decide what size you are going to use at the beginning. Later, you can always export a PDF and print it on a larger sheet or smaller sheet. But making sure you start with the right size is a paper size is important. And the reference is showing all the files linked to my layout. So this is actually this logo thing. You can definitely delete it and relink to, like if you get an image. Oops. Anyway, I don't have a logo ready, but you can definitely relink to your own logo. And this is the park terrain model, and this is the gazebo model. So, which means if you have make changes in these models, you can either update here, or you can right click and update model reference here. So, which means that's super convenient. If you delete some, change the flower box, changing the tree arrangement, or the style of the bench, you can just right click and update. You don't need to reinsert the model again. All right, I think that's it for assignment 3. So, okay, this is, I'm going to call it cover page. Anyway, so there are some more additions you can make, but basically that's the requirement. So now you can go to File, Export, PDF, and then create a name for find a location, like a document, SketchUp. Just going to call it park. Save. So I just enter save. I think for Mac user, maybe you need to click on option, and then to get to this page is the export options. So this is the location of my file and the file names, and the pages. I want all. You can definitely choose pages from second or the inside page only. And then the image resolution, I'm choosing medium. So if you are for fine print, you can use the high, or for monitor presentation, you can use low. So, and also the use JPEG compression, you can either choose a better quality or a smaller file size. You just have to make a balance. And then click on export. So you see I got a PDF. Now you can print it, present it, send to client. So this is the requirement for our third assignment. And create a folder in your personal folder and put this PDF and also the animation video into that folder. That's the third assignment due next week. Okay, don't forget to save your layout file. Give it a name, park layout, save.